another message. This, right, is a fantastic suggestion, which I've been experimenting with more as I got older and been playing more years than in the beginning. And it was a suggestion, right, that was made to me by the late great ambassador, Dom Famularo. Let me tell you right what he told me. This is a long time ago. You guys know that I've always played on a rather large drum set. In fact, right, if you guys look right at the configuration right of my main drum set, the one right that I did all the Jeff Indyke drum education shows, most of the YouTube segments, that Blue Vistalite kit. That's the one right that's really on film. I had another drum set, right, which was a Hammond drum set. Unfortunately, it was thrown in a dumpster. Those people, right, will hear about that. That's a drag, right? That was an amazing drum set. It was a very rare kit, by the way. My Uncle Mel, God rest him, he had given me that kit. And I played on that kit for a long time. In fact, at my early cassette course, I played on that kit before I decided to add the Vistalites. But let me tell you about my drum set configuration. I eventually started off, obviously, with a three-piece kit my Uncle Mel gave me. But I immediately added, another tom-tom to the left. I didn't mount the tom-tom right on the bass drum because I always wanted to have that ride cymbal on the bass drum. When I came up, the ride cymbal was mounted on the bass drum. Shows you right how long I've been playing. Most bass drums don't have that today. But in any event, I knew I wanted to build up my drum set to be exactly like Carl Palmer's drum set. And I pretty much did that. I accomplished that. I eventually got a couple of melodics, the butcher blocks. What I did, right, was I added like a sixth to that, which made it even higher, kind of like a Neil Peart kind of sound. And then, right, I got the idea from Alan White. I mounted a tom-tom above the row of 5 tom-toms to the left, up above that. And it was originally a snare drum shell, but then I eventually got a Blue Vistalite up above there. To the right, I had 2 floor tom-toms, and I had 2 tom-toms above it. They were small tom-toms mounted, similar, exactly like Carl Palmer's drum set, except for those extra drums. Eventually, I took away the other tom-tom to the right of the 4 tom-toms. Didn't really feel right I could reach it, and it didn't really fit into I didn't really need it, so I decided to take that away, and that's the way that my set remained for many, many years. When I performed on Broadway, I'll never forget, Dom Famularo came over, and he gave me some advice. I always had a really good relationship with Dom. I'll call him once in a while, usually at 2 o'clock in the morning, right, when I was lit. Those were the days, right, when I got lit. Not anymore, but I would talk to him about drums and stuff. And so he came over to me and said, I was watching you play, and it seems because those were the days, when I was playing it on Broadway, I was playing with Visions, Marty Powell and Greg Jolly. Wow, what a band. Those guys were great. Man, did those guys make me sound good. You can see some clips on YouTube. There are a few of them up there of me with Marty and Greg. Marty, I need you to call me, man. I was hoping you might have some recordings that we made. Those were lost too. But I still have, I think, a video somewhere. But anyway, so Dom came over to me and said, I was watching you play, and it seems like you are really concentrating so much on, using all your drums. And he made a suggestion, that was really cool. Which then, as later on in time, I started to experiment. He said, you should take some drums away and concentrate more on the groove and not, worrying so much about how many drums you could fit into each fill. Because those were the days when I used to do those, those Carl Palmer long rolls, kind of similar to what Carl Palmer did in a lot of his live work later when he added the extra drums. Because Carl Palmer also too started off with a smaller kit, and then when I think he had Trilogy, and then all of a sudden he started adding drums there, and by the time he recorded Brain Salad Surgery, he had to write those high-pitched drums. Those were really amazing drums, right, that he had. Those things were made out of brass. They weighed the bass drum weighed 500 pounds. I'm glad I didn't have to move that thing around. So anyway, as years went on, what Don was telling me about is this: change your drum set frequently. Change it around. Take some drums away. Then he said, but you can always add them back. So what I did as I went along in my career is every couple of months, I always changed something. I would add a drum that wasn't there. One time I put a tom-tom. I got this idea from Gary Carnevale. He had a floor tom-tom to the left of his hi-hat. And I tried a floor tom-tom. There wasn't enough room for that, so I used a melodic tom and I mounted there. That was pretty cool because I kind of did some plops where I had my left hand do different counter rhythms while I was playing a rhythm. I was always searching for different sounding cymbals. So I would change cymbals around. The reason why I'm suggesting to do this is if you change your drum set around on a relative, not too often basis, but keep the structure of your drum set basically intact the way you want it, but add and take things away. And I think by cymbals, by changing cymbal sounds, it warrants a different creativity. So what it did, well, first off, when I started playing on less drums, because now I'm playing on a lot less drums. I don't have all those drums anymore in my segments. Eventually my goal is to construct a large enough rolling kit, because that's what I'm playing on exclusively now. Well, not always. You guys have seen me play on a lot of different electronic drums on film. But most of those kits only have two small floors, and two small tom-toms, one floor. Once in a while maybe two floors, but not really too often. So, I'm not doing those long kind of rolls that I'm doing anymore, but eventually maybe. But what I'm saying is by changing the configuration of your drum set around, it creates a different environment for your creativity. You're going to play differently. For example, I got this really, really cool cymbal from my cousin Jay. It's in storage now, but it was like this splash kind of cymbal. It sounded kind of like my garbage can cymbal, but better. It was really, really cool. And my garbage can cymbal eventually had to retire because it cracked, and I couldn't use it anymore, unfortunately. It was, by the way I got that garbage can cymbal to sound like that, it was an old aluminum cymbal. It wasn't a Zildjian. It was like a no brand. Who knows, right? And I hammered it, and with a hammer, that's what gave it that really cool sound. But, so the different sound, the cymbal, made me play different things. So I guess the bottom line of what I'm saying is change your drum set around frequently with different cymbals, with different drums, and by doing that, it'll hopefully generate different creativity, and it'll make you play differently each time that you change something around. Because if you didn't have that sound, you might not produce that. And I get that a lot now, with the different electronic kits that I'm playing on, because what I do, is I'll change the drum set sounds. I might be around on a techno thing one day, maybe an India type thing another day, a heavy metal sound another day. And by doing that, I'm always playing differently because it sounds differently. In other words, the sounds kind of warrant what I'm doing when I'm playing. Because when I play, I improvise, and I'm kind of composing different pictures. Stop this thing now. They want to make these goddamn treadmills illegal. But anyway, I hope you guys like that story. And There'll be more stories to come. Nobody's watching any of my stories though, so, but maybe eventually Red will catch on. What I want to eventually do, Red, is like a podcast. We'll have like a radio show, and I interview different drummers on different topics. I'm probably going to be doing that with certain people. So when I do that, if any of you guys are interested in, sitting down like a round table kind of thing. Dom Famularo, the late ambassador, he used to interview some really, really famous drummers. And they're on film. He interviewed, I think he interviewed Dave Weckl, a couple of other guys, I'm not sure. That was pretty cool. I wouldn't mind doing that one day, but I'd rather talk to local guys, Famous guys get me nervous. Anyway, see you guys a little later. Thanks.